Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Gonna give it some time for you guys to come in the room. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start because I got class in a minute. But my name is Mercy Myles-Jenkins. I'm a spirit-led Christian life coach, and thanks for coming. Appreciate you. And I want to talk about this topic. I had a coaching session this morning, in which I was talking to somebody who was going through this very particular issue. And this is a very common issue. Wherever you go, you kind of see it as a trend. And I've even asked the Lord myself, like, what is that? What really is that? One thing I know is that, and this is the topic. The topic is that the question is, are you a dynamic woman, right? So in other words, are you strong? Are you powerful? You got lots of very gears. Oh, I'm doing fine, Glennis. I know it's you. Gigi. I know who it is. You from the UK? Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you. God bless you. I know it's like midnight right now, so thank you. So yeah, are you that woman that's very powerful, that's dynamic, that's on the board? You're the president of so and so organization. You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, right? You're holding it down. You're advancing in your career. You're advancing in ministry. You're advancing in life. Thank you. Right, so is that you? Are you that very person? Okay, so as well as being that person, are you married to somebody else who's not moving to the forefront in the same way that you're moving in the forefront? Or are they just on the sideline or even at the back? Not that there's something wrong with that, but that's just where they are, right? I'm never saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it is what it is, right? Okay, so if you're that person, oh yeah, by the way, before I even get into it, yeah? Why don't you just go ahead and share? You got the three dots at the bottom. Thanks for sharing. Why don't you just go ahead and share that? Share it with your followers. Let them be blessed. And why don't you go ahead also and follow me too? And to the replay viewers, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you being here. Okay. All right. So, and yeah, so I've called the man a passive man, but it doesn't necessarily have to be passive. In the case of the person I was talking about, he's more depressed than he was passive, right? So he was going through some things, right? Yeah. So he had like a addiction of alcohol, right? Okay. So, are you that person? Let's get back to the topic now. So, you know, it's kingdom etiquette, right? So, when it's kingdom etiquette, we talk about all kinds of things concerning life, business, and ministry, right? And what is God really saying? What is the standard, right, for living? What are the do's and the don'ts? What are the tips that we should be living by? What is the I like to look at it sometimes in terms of good practice. And remember I taught you about etiquette, what it is, the ABCs of etiquette. A is for attitude, B is for behavior, C is for communication, and C is also for character, right? So those are the ABCs. Attitude, behavior, communication, and character. So it's always looking at the do's and the do nots. What should I do and what should I not do concerning a particular topic? And remember, we also talked about protocol. Protocol teaches you when to do a thing, okay? All right, so let's go hit it off because I got to get to class in like in 10 minutes. All right, so one of the first things that you do want to do, right, do recognize that you're not about to clone yourself and your husband. Okay, so the both of you are different. That's why you married him, right? You married him because he was the complete opposite of you, right? So now that he's the opposite of you and you don't, things are changing. Now you want him to look exactly like you, behave the way you do, and do what you do, right? No. So just remember that you can't clone him. And in fact, when you begin to do that, it becomes very unhealthy, right? You got a soul tied together, right? So you're tied together, mind, will, and emotion, but you don't want it, and it's a godly one, right? But you don't want it to now become an unhealthy soul tie, right? Where there's like control, manipulation, and all sorts of things. That's not what you want, okay? All right, so just remember, you can't change him to act like you and be like you. Why? Because he's different, he's himself, and you are you. So what tends to happen is this, is that, am I going to my next one? No, it's the same point. So what happens is this. If the reason why you want to change him and want him to be more like you is because you feel like either embarrassed, okay, because he's doing something that he's not supposed to do, or doing something you don't want him to do, right? You feel embarrassed, and that you want people, when they see you, the impression they get about you, you want them to also have the same impression about your husband. So you're a go-getter, aggressive kind of type woman, and so when they meet your husband, you want them to think of your husband in the same flow as you. And if they don't see him in the same stead, then you feel embarrassed. You feel like he didn't represent you well. Okay, well, like I said, he's not you, so he may be you might be representing you, but he is not the reason what keeps you happy. Thanks for coming in the room. Okay, yeah, he makes you happy, but your whole happiness cannot be put on him. In other words, you can't expect once he's doing exactly. So example, like, let me give you an example just to make it be real. All right, so this particular person that I was coaching, okay, she is wanting to do her business. She's going to go forth in her business, right? Her husband does have some business ideas. Oh, hi, Rochelle. Thanks for coming in the room. Her husband does have some business ideas. God is trying to push him into a couple of business. He's very good with his hands. In terms of landscaping, he's a landscaping business, already bought the equipment and everything. And also he's a barber, and he's a great cook. He's a great chef, right? Hi. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. All right. So he's a great chef, right? But because of the alcoholism issue, right, it just kind of makes their couple presentation a little tainted, being around church folks. So she go to church, and then she kind of feel weird when it comes, obviously, because you can smell drink all over him, right? And so it don't make her look too good that she's married to somebody that he's a nice guy too as well. I mean, he really is a nice guy. He's got a nice heart, a good heart, I should say. The Lord had me actually minister to him. The first time I met him, I gave him word. So I know he's a good man, and God really has something for his life, right? Okay. But just the fact that he's drinking is not a good look, right? So you know what happens when they go home? Bad arguments. They're cuss outs, right? Because here she is advancing in ministry, and she has a ministry, right? Within her church. She runs the children's ministry, the youth ministry, and the performing arts ministry, right? So, that doesn't look too good. She's part of leadership. She goes to leadership meetings. So you can imagine how she feels about herself, and feels about her marriage, and feels about what people are talking about her life as a Christian, as a leader, that her kids are, not her kids, I'm sorry, but her husband is not on the up and up, right? Okay. And you can imagine that type of pressure will pressure a woman to say all kind of things, all kind of disrespectful things, which I'm about to say do not do, okay? But this is where it comes from. It stems from the fact of feeling insecure about who you are, feeling bad that your other half, your better half, is not representing the same way that you're representing, and therefore, if they just fix up, therefore, if they just get their life together, therefore, if he just stops drinking, then everything's gonna be happy. I won't be rejected. People will love me. People will think that I am worthy of the calling. I'll be better qualified, and then maybe they will just give me another ministry so that I can come up the ranks. Yeah. I mean, who knows? That's how, we can assume that's how it kind of goes, yeah? All right. So, first thing is, you don't want to develop an ungodly soul tie, because we already know the tie is godly, but you don't want to turn it, right? By the mere fact that you're putting too much onus, too much pressure, and too much of your expectation of what he should look like and be like and behave like on the other person. They're not responsible for your soul happiness. Jesus is responsible for that. That's something that you go to God in prayer, okay? And so what you do want to do is begin to pray for him, not throw bricks at him. And when I say bricks, I'm talking about Bible verse bricks, yeah? You don't want to throw bricks at him and then, use the word to hurt him. But what you do want to do is pray for him and begin to pray that godly men will come into his life to minister to him, right? And something, the other thing is, you got to be very careful not to judge. So with her, I explained that to her because she was coming from a place where she was judging him for his behavior. And what I said to her is, if he's dealing with alcoholism, he's dealing with generational curse because it was in his family. It was in his father did the same thing. So we know he's in bondage just for that. Second, he's depressed, right? He's depressed. He's not working. He also had a car accident, which meant that his limbs is not working to its full functioning. So you can imagine how all these things will actually make a man feel depressed and feel like they're not living out their life's purpose, right? So all that stuff together would actually make somebody feel low in themselves, right? So how can you judge a man is what I'm saying in that situation? How can you feel the right to judge that person? They're having to fight so many battles, dark battles in their mind. Their body's not the same. Their mind is not the same. How can you really judge a person to get out of that situation? It's not easy for someone to just get out of that, right? Not at all. So obviously they need prayer, they need intervention, they need deliverance. And if they're not persuaded to even go there, then you need to seek help from your spiritual counsels and your prayer partners to do like a chain of prayer around him, to just keep him protected. What? No, I'm about to use it for school. You need 5 minutes. Okay, go upstairs for 5 minutes. Oh, that's my son. Okay, so where was we now, right? Okay, so I talked about don't throw spiritual bricks, right? And I said do pray for him, okay? Don't preach at him, but do pray for him, okay? And then also don't judge. And then remembering too, thanks for the hearts, appreciate it. Remembering too, and you know what really opened it for her when I said don't judge, and how can a man actually come out of that? When she thought about herself, she said, you know what, when I started, when they gave me the ministry, I was smoking and I was out partying. And so I wasn't all the way in, but my pastor and my mentor in the church, they would pull me in. So she was able to see it's true. It's true. Even for herself, right? Somebody had to trust her with ministry, even though she wasn't all the way right. And so now she's a powerful woman of God, but somebody had to trust her even though she was halfway in. And because of the influence, she was able to change over her life. But your husband's in a whole different place. Like, how can he actually come out? He would need the same thing. And she caught it just like that. Was like, oh my God. So you know what? Sometimes we just need somebody to just loosen that up and break the mindsets and perceptions and negative expectations, so that we can not hold on to those concerning people and concerning our lives. Okay, and what else do I have here? Do pray for him. Oh, do some research. So some books that are really good to get is Michelle McLean Waters. She has the Deborah Anointing book. In fact, I have it, and the Holy Spirit told me to actually give it to this lady that I'm coaching right now. So I ordered it on Amazon today. So I'm gonna bless her with that book. And then another book that's helped me in the past is Stormy. What's her last name? Stormy something, Stormy Ormonton, I think her name is, begins with O. But anyway, she does the Praying Wives, and she does the Praying Something series, Praying Children, Praying Adult, Praying whatever. But she has the Praying Wives book. So that's something to read to actually equip you so that you be encouraged in your situation. Okay? Let me see what else we got. The other thing I want to mention is to be grateful. Why? Be grateful, one, that you're married. Not everyone's married. So if you have a good man, then treat him good. And the other reason is that he could be stifling your gifting. He could be stopping you from going to church. He could be stopping you from even praying in the house. But no, he has such a good heart that he just wants you to be happy, and he's supporting you to do whatever it is you want to do, right? And that was her case too as well. All right? Okay, I think I've said everything that I need to say. Yes, so I said everything that I need to say. Someone said to be grateful. Okay, yeah, that's right, to be grateful. All right, so I hope this blessed you. I hope this was good for you. And if you haven't already shared. And replay viewers, just want to say, whoop, 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 thank you. Thank you for always tuning in and supporting me. I appreciate you. All right. Well, listen, God bless. Take care. I got to be in class. So take care and have a wonderful evening. All right, bye.